Hello and welcome to News on the Hour. I am Priscilla Aworm. President Muhammadu Buhari has reiterated his support to drive development of micro, small and medium enterprises in the country. Buhari stated this through the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Ambassador Miriam Kano, at the opening ceremony of the 2019 Lagos International Trade Fair. Buhari said strengthening MSMEs, which form the bulk of the trade fair, would lead to greater utilization of local raw materials and employment generation, encouragement of rural development, and building the capacity of entrepreneurs. The president further disclosed that the vast majority of the development and deployed countries rely mostly on the dynamism, resourcefulness, and risk-taking of the small enterprises to kickstart a bankable process of sustained economic growth, which he said is his administration resolve. The Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, has pledged support of the federal government towards ensuring the completion of the historic 650,000 ppd Dangote Petroleum Refinery. The minister disclosed these during the official visit of the petrochemical complex located at the Lekki Free Trade Zone in Lagos. Silva was led on a tour of the refinery by the group president, Chief Executive Dangote Industries Limited, Aliko Dangote, and the company's executive director, Strategy, Capital Projects and Portfolio Development, Diva Kuma Edwin. He was accompanied by the chairman, Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream, Senator Sabo Nakudu, chairman, Senate Committee on Services, member, Senate Committee Upstream, Senator Muhammad Musa, General Managing Director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation NNPC, Malam Mele Kari. Others are Director, Department of Petroleum Resources, Ahmed Shakar, Executive Secretary, Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Simbi Wabote, and Executive Secretary, Petroleum Equalization Fund, Ahmed Boboy, and other government officials. The minister further revealed that Dangote plans to take advantage of local crude supply, adding that it won't participate in the crude for fuel swap deal that is managed by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. Christian Association of Nigeria, Kwara State branch, has raised the alarm over what it described as unwholesome and unholy activities of some pastors in the state. It added that it has received reports from security personnel of how some pastors duped their church members in the state. The secretary of the association in the state, Reverend Ruben Ibite, stated this in Igbaja, Ifelodun local government area of the state, adding that it has discovered that many of those pastors found culpable were not trained. Also, President General and former President of Fogo Olorunhan International Band of the Cherubim and Seraphim Movement Worldwide, Special Apostles Olaofe E. Olugbemiga and Deji Ogun, has attributed moral degeneration in the society of double lifestyles of Nigerians. Niger State government has announced the immediate cancellation of the recent recruitment exercise of 2,500 teachers. A statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Mary Noel Berger, said the suspension of the recruitment by the State Universal Basic Education Board followed complaints and public outcry over the processes that led to the selection and issuance of appointment letters to the people recruited. There are allegations that appointment letters were sold to the highest bidder, while placements and postings were done without due process. The president of Africa Development Bank, Adewumi Adesina, says that if properly nurtured, the agricultural sector would be producing the next generation billionaires in Nigeria and the rest of Africa. Additional stated this while delivering the 14th convocation of Boehm University lecture titled Africa's Future, Positioning University to Nurture Develop Entrepreneurial Initiative. The Africa Development Bank chief noted that millionaires and billionaires of Africa will not come from oil and gas, but from agriculture. Additional further revealed that one of the most important areas ripe for entrepreneurship is agricultural sector, stressing that the size of agribusiness in the continent will be worth $1 trillion by 2030. Movement for actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, MASAB, on Monday celebrated posthumously the 86th birthday of the late Biafran leader Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu with lamentation over the decay of infrastructures in Igbo land. The group's leader, Uchenna Madu, in address on the occasion made demands from Igbo leaders and stakeholders that would assuage the sorry state of the region. MASAB urged Southeast governors to eulogize the name and image of Ojukwu in their respective states through establishing mechanic villages in his name, which will create more mechanical innovations and inspirations among the teeming youths. The Kaduna State government has expressed dissatisfaction with the failure of the local government areas in the state to pay teachers for over 5 months. The Commissioner for Local Government, Alhaji Jafaru Sani, assured that as part of the implementation of the new minimum wage, the state government will continue to do its best to ensure that all employees on its payroll gets their entitlement. Sani said the state government is bothered about the inability of the 23 local governments in the state to pay its teachers.
Some hitches before now, bothering around the ability of the 23 local governments to at least pay back the arrears of January to May, that's 5 months in the LGS. We investigated and found out that as at this afternoon, the 23 local governments are owing this category of teachers about 1.8 billion naira payments. The state government, has expressed its dissatisfaction with this development and accordingly arranged with commercial banks to enable all the councils pay the outstanding sums to the affected teachers.
The Commissioner expressed optimism that soon the teachers will get a text of their 5 months' salaries in block because all necessary actions have been taken to address the issue.
Affected teachers, numbering about 8,500, will receive the outstanding 5 months arrears latest next week. From Monday to Friday, we will be in a position to sort this thing out. So what will happen is that teachers in the LGS will, within a span of 2 weeks, that's from last week, received about 7 months' salary. They have collected September, October, and now by next week they will collect in block 5 months arrears. This brings to the rest, the agitations by the Nigerian Union of Teachers of the payment of this.
Chief of Defense Staff General Bayomi Olonisakin says he will continue to motivate, train and equip the armed forces for effective response to national security. The defense chief stated this at the Nigerian Air Force Counter-Terrorism Exercise 2019 conducted by the Special Operation Command of the Nigerian Air Force in Kaduna. Chief of Defense Staff General Abayomi Olonisakin says the essence of training of this nature for fighting force like the Nigerian Air Force is important for greater success in combat operations.
Exercises of this nature are designed to ensure that Nigerian Air Force personnel are engaged in training exercises that involves lessons in tactics and doctrine in the conduct of counter-terrorism operations. What we have witnessed today is a testimony to the commitment of the Nigerian Air Force to continuously develop its capabilities in the conduct of counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency operations, contain banditry, safeguard Nigerian Air Force assets, as well as confront other security challenges in all parts of the country. I have observed right from the operations others face, the knowledge and confidence displayed by their size players, knowledge of the area, of the operational responsibilities and their dexterity in the handling of their equipment and other assets. These are imperatives for successes in future operations. I am delighted that the exercise has achieved its desired level.
Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar says the Nigerian Air Force will continue to bring up this kind of operations so as to enable the Nigerian Air Force protect the country's assets and territory.
The Kenyan elements of the Air Force also have a very crucial role to play how do we exercise the Kenyan elements. That is why today we are trying to bring in all these elements in order for us to really appreciate what is required if we are really to be successful in the conduct of our operations. The special forces elements of the Air Force are involved in operations in the northwest zone of the country as well as the north central zone, and also as part of the Air Force Special Forces Battalion in the northeast. So, essentially this exercise is to give an insight into the difficulties that we are likely going to encounter in the future. And it's supposed to be a training exercise for all those that are involved to really understand all the issues and to be able to really take appropriate decisions so that at the end of the day we will realize the operational objectives of our operations.
And in sports, the Flying Antelopes finally helped the West African Giants get one over on their regional neighbors Togo. Togo have enjoyed the footballing edge over Nigeria in recent months, and it was a great relief to see Enugu Rangers advance at the expense of ASC Kara in Sunday's CAF Confederation Cup showdown. The Rangers fans weren't overwhelmingly confident heading into this showdown, having been defeated 2-1 by the reigning Togolese champions in the first leg in Lomé a week earlier. However, these Flying Antelopes side are a well-organized and resolute unit under Benedict Ugu, and Ezekwe Chinonso's first half goal was enough to see them through the group stage. And that's all in the news on the hour in Television Nigerian. Thanks for watching. I am Priscilla Igrum.